Guess what? Twitter is talking about yet another assault story. This time it's against the YouTuber Jake Paul, and the allegation was made in this YouTube video by Justine Paradise, who also happens to be the alleged victim in this situation. If you want to check that out, I'll leave it in the description below. But to boil it down for you, what is being accused here is that Jake Paul orally assaulted this girl. And of course, the most opinionated man on Twitter, Keemstar, had a lot to say about it. His first mention of the situation is a Twitter video titled, Jake Paul's Sexual Assault.
Hey guys, I need to do a drama alert today on the Jake Paul sexual assault allegations, and quite frankly, I do not believe the alleged victim. And I don't want to just cover this real quick on drama alert without getting some pushback. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe I'm not seeing a certain angle to the story. That's why I'm making this Twitter video, so I can be challenged before I put it on drama alert in front of millions of people. But this girl is claiming that Jake Paul, was kissing her, holding her hand, led her to her room. She didn't want to do any further stuff with him. And then Jake Paul, grabbed her head and started fucking her face. And within 30 seconds, busted a nut in her mouth. And she claims that she was sexually assaulted. Now, how does that happen? What? Wouldn't she have to open her mouth and participate in some way for that to happen? Can't you just turn your head, or can't you just get is there some way to force oral sex on someone? I mean, she's not saying that he had a weapon and was like, you better do this. She is saying that he grabbed her head and started fucking her face and came in her mouth. I don't understand the physics here. I don't understand how that's possible. Why? Can't you get away? Is there really no way to get away? Is there really no way to just close your mouth, and just not let the penis enter your mouth? I'm sorry, but I just don't believe this story at all. Am I missing something here? Please challenge me. Please challenge me, right? I don't want to go in front of millions of people, get called a victim blamer, and not have a piece of information that I should have. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It sounds like BS. Please challenge me.
After posting that video, a couple women responded to Keemstar. Chrissy says, I would have clamped my teeth on it if that was the case. Lord Crucial says, on God, all she had to do was bite. Kit says, you forgot the part where she could have also bit down. Seems kinda sketchy. Jay says, wait, what? She could have bit down real hard, as it is the weak spot for all males. Keemstar shows these and then says, thank God other women are also seeing my point of view. There were some people on Twitter who didn't see his point of view though. Literally Sophie says, that Keemstar dude literally said Jake Paul didn't assault Justine because she should have just closed her mouth. Huh? Men's understanding of consent is so scary to me. Ashley quote tweets Keemstar and says, and this, my friends, is exactly why women don't speak up about being raped. Stop victim blaming / shaming. It's not funny / cool. And you look like an even bigger douchebag, Keemstar. Go fuck yourself. Keemstar then responds to her with a Twitter video titled, Hi Ashley.
Hi Ashley. I uploaded a Twitter video saying that I had some questions and some problems and some doubt with these Jake Paul allegations, and I asked for some feedback, and Twitter was not able to give me enough feedback to kind of change the doubt that I had and the serious questions I had about these allegations on Jake Paul. You responded by saying that I am the reason why women don't speak up. You responded by calling me a victim blamer, which I don't really understand that. I don't get that, because I didn't blame the victim for what allegedly happened to her. But I understand it. This is cancel culture. This is back in the day, people would bully people online by calling them, mean names and picking on them. Today, we bully people by cancel culture, like what you just did. Saying that, I'm a victim blamer, all the key words that are going to give you the likes and retweets. That's how we bully people today, is with our wokeness and social justice warriors and all that other shit. So I totally get it. But we have to look at everything logically. And since you're not looking at everything logically, let me just point out your flaws. This mentality of believing all victims right, which you have, sets you up for you being a part of falsely accusing individuals of serious fucking crimes. In this case, rape, right? You know, if an allegation is made and it is false, you have to believe it because you believe all victims and you don't do victim blaming. So you automatically, without using your own brain, without looking at the facts and trying to come up with your own opinion, you automatically say person accused is guilty, which would cause, because we know that false allegations happen, at some point, somewhere, you have falsely accused someone of a serious crime. Yep, you're guilty of that because you're looking at the world in black and white instead of just making up your own opinion. You're a bad person.
Professor responds to Keem by saying, "Exactly, nailed it, Keem." And as a result, this hurts actual victims by diminishing the likelihood that people will take it seriously after wild demands to believe everyone, foregoing all skepticism and presumption of innocence. Keemstar quote tweets him and says, "He gets it." Nye responds to Keem by saying, "The accusations are serious, but people fail to realize that false accusations are also serious." Keemstar quote tweets her and says, "Amen." He then continues talking about the situation in a Twitter video titled, "Jake Paul's Sexual Assault 2.
Okay, so about 30 minutes ago, I uploaded a Twitter video talking about the Jake Paul sexual assault allegations. And I basically explained why I have doubt that this story is real, and I wanted feedback from you guys before I covered it on Drama Alert, because I don't want to be called a victim blamer and all this other stuff, right? So I wanted to figure out what am I missing here, right? And so the majority of you guys responding to me agree with me and also don't really believe the allegations. But there is some people saying that, look, you know, you can freeze up, and, you know, and you can just go along with it even though you don't want to, and all this other stuff. So yeah. I think the best thing that I can do is just not cover the story because I have serious doubts. And wait until there's more evidence that determines whether or not this is fake or real before I cover the story. So this is like one of those things where I'm just not going to cover because I have too much doubt, and I don't think it's fair to Jake Paul or the victim for me to go out and put out my opinion on something that is just so up in the air, questionable. So I'm just not going to cover it at all. That's my final decision. If there's new evidence and new information that swifts my opinion vastly one way or the other, then I might cover it in the future. But for right now, someone made a whole thread with a timeline proving that Jake Paul was like not even at his house on this date. Like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just not going to cover it. I'm not going to cover it until there's more information out there. But thank you guys for all your feedback. You really helped me make a decision here.
Nicholas DiOrio responds to Keemstar by saying, "The best thing any YouTuber can do with a serious allegation is to either wait for a conviction, present bulletproof irrefutable evidence, or not talk about it at all. Lionmaker was a good target because he committed his crime publicly on Twitter in front of hundreds of thousands of people. I think we can support victims without weaponizing them and profiting off their spoken word stories before the allegations are even vetted." The girl making the allegations, Justine Paradise, responded to Keemstar by saying, "Keemstar really said you can't be sexually assaulted orally because all you have to do is turn your head away. Guess no one would be raped if they just closed their legs, right?" She then continued to criticize Keemstar more in depth on her TikTok. Here is what she said.
I don't understand how that's possible. Like, why? Can't you?
Are you kidding me? This man is not just simply saying that he doesn't believe me. He is saying that it is not possible to be assaulted orally. Are you kidding me? Not having consent is not having consent. This logic is like saying, well, you can't be raped because you have to open your legs for that. I have been messaged by so many girls saying that they went through the same exact thing of a YouTuber forcing themselves on them, but this person is saying it's not possible. Not possible. Okay. Is Jake forcing you to say this, or do you genuinely not understand how consent works?
Hello, I am not falsely accusing anyone for clout.
I've kept this to myself for a long time, so making the decision to share it publicly is terrifying because I know I'm going to have a lot of attention on it, and I know a lot of that attention is going to be hate, and I don't want to deal with all the hate that I'm going to get for, like, something bad that happened to me. But also, I know it is necessary to share this information with everybody, so it could maybe, like, save someone that would be in my position in the future. I haven't shared this YouTube video previously with all the information in it because, like, it's scary to share. So I've been kind of mentally prepping myself, and also some, like, big reporters said it's in my best interest to wait, and since I've never shared anything like this, and I assumed they had more, like, knowledge than me, I decided to, like, go with that. But I think that's wrong. I think it's just in their best interest for me to wait.
Hi. I'm so sorry that happened to you, but one thing that I did find out is the NDA has nothing to do with, like, crimes. And if you do want to talk to me about what happened, I don't know if you shared your story yet online, or if you even want to, but even if you don't want to, I'm someone that you can talk to if you want. No pressure or anything. I just wanted to reply to your comment in a video because I've been messaged by literally so many people saying similar things happened to them. And then there are people like Keemstar saying it's not possible to be assaulted in that way. Not possible. So if anything similar happened to anyone watching this, and you want to talk to someone about it, I'm here for you to talk to me. My DMs are open on Instagram. I am getting a lot of hate right now, but I can, like, sift through it. I'll only share your story if you want me to, but I'm here if you just want someone to talk to, because, like, these YouTubers are messed up. Hello, I did answer this in the YouTube video when I showed the texts, but if you don't want to watch a 20-minute long video just to understand, totally reasonable. But basically I just wanted to talk to him about what happened and let him know how it made me feel, so, like, he was aware of, what his actions do to people. But he obviously didn't want to talk about it because he didn't respond after the assault,
So after all of this, a few days later, Jake Paul finally decided to address this on his Twitter. He said, "Sexual assault allegations aren't something that I or anyone should ever take lightly. But to be crystal clear, this claim made against me is 100% false. Not only have I never had any sexual relationship with this individual, but this claim is solely a manufactured accusation, and a blatant attempt for attention during a highly visible fight week. Make no mistake, I plan on pursuing this defamation of character case to the fullest extent of the law. There are irreparable damages from these type of accusations, and more importantly, false allegations of this nature diminish those who have truly been victims of misconduct. Again, this individual is directly using the attention from her social media posts and video to promote her adult content website and Amazon shopping list, designed for people to buy her gifts. These allegations come conveniently for her, almost 2 years after the alleged incident, and the week of my fight, of course. At the time of her story, I was in a relationship, and as someone who was a mama's boy growing up, I respect women and mothers more than anything. I almost certainly have never laid a finger on a girl without their consent. I will fight this to the end to prove my innocence. This isn't the first preposterous allegation made against me in my career, and it most likely won't be the last. As someone who has lived in the spotlight since the age of 16, dealing with liars, fake news, and false accusations unfortunately is part of this job. I won't back down from it, and years from now my character as an individual will show and shine through these dark moments. There were a couple highly liked responses to Jake Paul's post. Kevin Stevens says, "No chance you typed this out yourself. Clearly a publicist is involved in this." Christian says, "Like you could have left out the fight in your statement as well. This screams, don't forget about my fight this week and don't believe her. Blech. I waited 5 years to tell anyone about my rape, and he was still found guilty. Trauma, fear, embarrassment make it hard to come forward." Kevin responds to her by saying, "On his fight week though? Like literally any other time she could have said it, but she just so happened to say it on the week of his fight, and at the peak of his fame, bro. Like what?" Kavos reacted to the post by saying, "Jake Paul responds to the sexual assault allegations. We must obviously wait to see/hear all the facts. But, most importantly, let the proper authorities handle it. These are serious claims. Jake says they aren't true, and is taking legal action. Cavus also tweets out, "Big yikes," from Floyd Mayweather on the Jake Paul allegations. To clarify, the accuser is not a kid. Extremely poor choice of words. Showing an Instagram post from Floyd Mayweather that says, "The kid is so thirsty. He harassed a kid. Some people don't understand the word no. He must not know they are locking everyone up quick for stuff like this. It was just a matter of time. Tick tock." Anyways, going back to Keemstar versus Justine, he responds to her TikToks by saying, "Jake Paul Accuser has put out a new video claiming I said it was impossible to be assaulted orally. This is false! I never made such a statement. I have notified my legal team." Justine quote tweets him and says, "I was referring to when you said, I don't think that is possible. Can't you just get away?" and demonstrated turning your head. Keemstar then continues to talk about her in this Twitter video titled, "Jake Paul Accuser lies about me again."
The Jake Paul Accuser has slandered me once again. She has made claims that I made statements that I have never made. She just uploaded another TikTok claiming that I said it is impossible to be assaulted orally. I did not say that. I did not say that at all. You will never find that anywhere on the internet of me saying that it is impossible to be assaulted orally. I did not say that. Why are you going out of your way to be so dishonest? All right. She took a clip of me asking questions. Couldn't you turn your head? Isn't there some way to get away? Because I have serious doubt about these allegations. All right. First of all, assaulted orally. If a guy stuck out his penis and put it in a girl's face, that is assaulted orally, right? If a guy, is jamming his penis at someone's head or whatever without their consent, that's assaulted orally. That's sexual assault orally, right? I never said that this was impossible. You claimed that Jake Paul put his dick in your mouth forcefully and that it stayed in your mouth forcefully and he started fucking your face and he came inside of your mouth. He was in your mouth that long that he came inside. I asked questions for better understanding, and I wanted feedback from Twitter saying, is there some type of way to get away? Like, could she turn her head? Other people on Twitter said, well, couldn't she bite, to get away? These are questions. They're not statements. And you keep saying that I made these statements. I am so sorry, but my lawyer and stuff is all over this shit. All right. I don't believe you now at all because you're deliberately lying about me and lying about what I said. You are lying. And anybody knows it that looks at these videos and looks at your TikToks. What you're saying is factually incorrect. So I don't trust you at all.
Adam Grabar responds to Keem's Twitter video by saying, "Keem, I'm a fan of yours, and you may have actually been asking a question, but in the video, which I watched the original in full, you sounded, keyword, like you were sarcastically asking if there was a way to avoid it, but you were saying there's ways to avoid that situation from happening. I talk like that too sometimes about stuff. I'm not saying that's what you meant. I'm saying that's how it could have been perceived. Not trying to take sides or anything, just trying to give a different perspective is all. Keep up the good work, man." Keemstar quote tweets him and says, "That is absolutely incorrect. I wasn't sarcastically saying anything. Started off the video asking for feedback because I have questions. So nothing should be considered a statement from me, they were simply questions, and me looking for answers." Keemstar also tweets out, regarding the sexual assault allegations against Jake Paul. "This thread I have quote tweeted brings up a lot of questions about the authenticity of these allegations." He then quote tweets a thread from someone called Here for the Truth, and they go extremely in-depth on all of the allegations and the validity to them. It is way too much to read for this video, but I'll leave the link to the thread in the description below if you guys want to check it out for yourself. Anyways, Megan Rinks quote tweets Keem and says, "I'd love to know the instances of when you have believed women." Keemstar quote tweets her and says, 1 Ray Diaz, 2 Romeo Lacoste, 3 Basher, 4 Lion Maker, 5 Pyro, 6 Mini Lad. There's actually so many I can't even remember them all. Now, the alleged victim of Pyro actually responded to Keemstar and said, "Oh my god, you are so stupid. Pyro did nothing, and instead you should put ancient reality. But no, your dumbass is too stubborn and butthurt that you have to spread incorrect infos once again. You are a miserable reporter wannabe. Can't even focus on a real issue. How many times do I have to repeat this? Ancient reality is the criminal. He abused me mentally and sexually. Pyro and I was nothing but just two people who liked each other and shared interests such as gaming or art. Anyways, going back to the list of victims Keem believes, Small PP responds to Keem by saying, very recently he even believed Paradis's victims, which was a huge L that he had to delete his Drama Alert video on. Keemstar quote tweets him and says, another great point. I believed these women's stories. And after the interview came out, it was crystal clear that the women were clout chasing, and I had to delete the interview. Now if you want to learn more about that, I have an entire video dedicated to that. I will leave that in the description as well. Megan responds to Keem by saying, may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure those aren't women, Keem. Do you still remember the names/pseudonyms of the victims? Keem quote tweets her and says, you were literally proven wrong in questioning that I don't believe any female victims ever. End of story. Stop embarrassing yourself publicly and accept the L. Megan quote tweets Keem and says, aw, is widow baby Keem having a rough night? Keem responds, I'm not having a rough night. I literally just publicly proved you wrong and people are laughing at you. I don't understand why you would think I'm having a rough time. I'm not. Megan responds, it's okay, little man. You don't need to bury those big scary feelings. Keemstar responds, you are so incredibly cringe. You are playing it off like you didn't just get provenly factually wrong in front of all these people. Megan, we all saw, has nothing to do with feelings. This is facts. Megan never responds to that tweet, but she does respond to a privated Twitter account by saying, you are so boring, and speaking to incels is so painful. Keemstar quote tweets her and says, now she's trying to call my fans incels? No, lady. My fans get laid. And that's on God, baby girl. And then Megan tweets out, going private for a bit, hearing how some people speak about women and sexual assault is a little too triggering. And then she privates her Twitter account. And that's about it for this situation so far. A lot of compelling reasons were given to either believe or not believe Justine's story. Personally, I haven't made up my mind about the situation yet, but if you guys have, I would love to hear your opinion in the comment section below, or even if you haven't. Just reading your general thoughts on this stuff is always interesting to me. If this story has any more updates, I will make a new video on it, so if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Thank you so much to my channel members for supporting the channel, in particular Scrubby, who has donated over $100 a month. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.